everybody, and welcome to another episode of Disney Done Differently as we count down to the Magic Kingdom's 50th anniversary. But today, where am I going? Epcot. And I'm not going like everybody else to Mexico, I'm going to Canada. I've always seen on every one of the festivals they have the beer cheese soup. I know I have some good friends that have actually had it and enjoyed it tremendously, but I figured, why not make it a little differently? Let's go. Alright, in a nice sized pan, start off with a little bit of olive oil. And then I took all the vegetables and I actually threw them in a food processor. We want them as mashed down as you can to really cook out. Alright, so to the pan with some nice hot olive oil. I'm adding in, this is celery, carrots, onions, zucchini, just a little bit of zucchini, and garlic. And those are all nice and chopped. Let them sit right into that oil and just reduce. To that I'm going to hit it with some salt and some nice black pepper. Okay, at this point the vegetables have released a lot of its liquid. This is when I like to season it, and I'm taking smoked paprika. I like to add that at this point and mix that in. It's going to give a nice, not a spice flavor, but it's going to color it. Oh, you can smell it. Okay, once your paprika is fully mixed within, we're going to add our beer, because this is a beer cheese soup, right? I figured for Canada, we're going with Labatt's Blue. Hey, I didn't have Molson Canadian, otherwise I would have. I'm just going to pour that in, one full bottle of beer, and give that a mix. It's going to rehydrate all of your vegetables. I like to let it cook just for a minute or so, just to get the alcohol out and get that flavor intense with the vegetables. And now at this point you can add whichever flavor you like. For me, I'm going with Frank's Red Hot. So we have some hot sauce in there. Okay, so you got the hot sauce, the beer, carrots, onion, garlic, celery, parsnip. Oh, it's coming together nice. And at this point, I'm going to add 2 1/4 cups of chicken stock. And we're going to just let this sit and simmer. Really want this to start to reduce approximately by half. Okay, this is starting to reduce nice. It's starting to get nice and thick. And that's what we want, all those flavors combining with those vegetables. So we'll let this sit, and at this point we're going to start our cheese sauce. It's a cheddar beer soup. So let's move over to the next pot. Okay, so to this pot we're going to start with half a cup of butter. Basically the base of this, it's going to get the real thickness will be the roux. You've seen me make roux on other occasions. It's equal parts butter to equal parts flour. Folks, there's many ways you could thicken this soup actually. If you wanted to stay away from the flour, roast shallots in the oven and then puree them and add about 2 tablespoons of shallot puree to the vegetables and that we did at that point, and that'll thicken it. You can do the same thing with onions. Just reduce the amount of onions that you're going to start cooking with, because it does add the flavor, but it will thicken your sauces and your bases. So we'll just let this start to melt, and then we'll add our flour. Okay, butter's melted. I'm now going to add in the flour, and you constantly stir. Keep this moving. Because these porcelain pots are outstanding. You don't have to worry about the burning, evenly cooked. Look how fast that's coming together. I'm on a very medium heat, and that's coming together. I'll put a link in the description for a bunch of the stuff that I've used today on the Amazon, so you guys can use these tools in your kitchen and have fun. Remember, food should be fun. So you want this to cook out enough to get the flour out of the actual raw flour taste out of the butter. So we're gonna let this cook just for a couple of seconds. If you smell burning popcorn, well, that means you've overcooked it. So by constantly stirring it, you're gonna prevent that. Okay, so I'm at a happy part right now. I think this has been cooked out long enough. It's definitely thick. And at this point, I'm going to add my milk. Just add a little bit at first just to get it incorporated. And then let's go all in. I'm adding 1 quart of milk. And you really want to start to mix this as fast as possible to break up the roux that's in there. And that's what's going to thicken this. And you just want this to get warm. It's not even at this point, it's not even that important to bring it to a simmer or a boil. And now we're going to go in with 2 cups of cheese, shredded cheese, store-bought, any type that you like. So it's 2 cups in there. And we're going to let this melt and become really creamy. Okay, so now as we can see, starting to pull away from the bottom, getting thick. I'm going to add my flavorings into here. So for what I like to do is a little touch of Worcestershire and English mustard. Coleman's English mustard. Yes, I named the brand because I think theirs is the best. It has more of a bite to it. It's about a teaspoon and a half in there. Let's get this all incorporated. And at first you might think, oh, it's too much in there. But you can see as it gets all incorporated, it gives it that darker hue to it. And this is getting nice and thick. I'm going to lower my heat and let this actually just cook out for the next couple of minutes. Okay, so at this point I'm very happy with the cheese sauce. It's velvety. You don't need to... If you had a little bit of thickness to it, you could use an immersion blender. You know, the little stick blenders. You can add that right to there, and I'm just going to add a little more of the creaminess so that you have everything in there. And folks, I don't know how much you're going to be able to see of this, but I want to be careful over the stove. And we're just going to add this right to our cheese sauce. So all the liquid and all the vegetables into there. This has been reduced by half. Get everything in there. And you stir. Now I know when you saw me first pour it in, you said there's no way, it's too dark, where's that cheese color? There it is, folks. We'll just leave this on a low heat for a little bit to get everything in there. Get that cheese. And all those vegetables, those flavors. Remember, you got that hot sauce in there. And there's that beautiful orange hue. Alright, so we have our soup, have our bowl, nice and thick. It's a luscious amount of soup there. Ooh, that looks great. Let's give this a little bit of a wipe. It looks a little boring. Need some type of cool garnish. Add some popcorn. Put some popcorn right in the middle of that. A little bit of texture. Hit that with a little touch of paprika over the popcorn. here's our soup. Now, let's see how it tastes. That's it, folks. So that's our beer cheese soup with the popcorn and the paprika. Long story, if you really want to know, I don't eat soup. Quick version, if I burn my tongue, everybody's having a bad day. But I will make sure that my family, look out for my wife. She'll probably be in the Facebook group, and she'll tell you what she thinks of the soup. I hope you enjoyed what you saw today. And if you did, please like, subscribe, and share. Tell your friends, tell your friends. Not eating the soup. Till next time.